Andrew's life seemed picture perfect. At 35, he had built a successful tech company, lived in a luxurious apartment, and drove a sleek sports car. To outsiders, he had everything, a dream life of wealth and ambition. But beneath the surface, Andrew's life was unraveling. He had sacrificed relationships for success, lost touch with his family, and created an environment of fear among his employees. One day, Andrew received an anonymous letter in his office mailbox. The envelope bore no return address, and the handwriting was uneven, almost shaky. Inside was a single note. "You are heading down the wrong path. If you don't change your ways, the consequences will be irreversible." Andrew laughed, tossing the letter aside. He dismissed it as a prank, perhaps from a disgruntled employee or an envious competitor. But as the day progressed, he couldn't shake a strange unease that settled over him. That evening, Andrew stayed late at the office, reviewing financial reports. Stress consumed him as he realized he might have to let go of a few employees to secure a new deal. It wasn't personal, he told himself. It was business. Driving home that night, the city lights blurred in the rain. The storm intensified and visibility was poor. Suddenly, his car stalled on a deserted highway. Frustrated, Andrew stepped out to check the engine, but nothing seemed wrong. That's when he noticed a figure standing in the shadows a few feet away. The figure slowly approached, a frail, elderly man with piercing, almost otherworldly eyes. "Andrew," the man said softly. Startled, Andrew demanded, "Who are you? How do you know my name?" The man didn't answer directly, but replied, "You've been given everything, yet you've forgotten the true purpose of life. I've come to show you what lies ahead if you don't change." Before Andrew could protest, the man reached out, touching Andrew's forehead. A surge of light enveloped him, and he blacked out. Andrew awoke in a strange void, a vast, dark expanse illuminated by floating screens. Each screen displayed a moment from his life, like a vivid replay of his worst mistakes. The first screen showed a day at the office. Andrew berated a young employee for a minor error, reducing her to tears. He remembered that day. It had been stressful, but he hadn't realized the lasting impact of his words. The second screen revealed his mother. She had invited him to dinner, but he canceled last minute, claiming he was too busy. She had smiled through the disappointment. But now Andrew saw her sadness clearly. The third screen showed his younger brother. Years ago, his brother had asked for Andrew's help starting a small business. Andrew had dismissed him, saying, "Figure it out yourself. I'm not a charity." His brother's defeated expression now haunted Andrew. Each memory grew more painful. His best friend's face appeared next, someone he had ignored during a time of personal crisis. Andrew had always thought success justified his actions, but now he realized the emotional toll of his ambition on others. The elderly man reappeared, his expression serious but not unkind. "Andrew," he said, "these are the choices that define your life. Your actions have hurt others, but they've also left you isolated. What will you leave behind when your time comes? A legacy of regret or redemption?" Andrew fell to his knees, overwhelmed by guilt. "How can I fix this?" he pleaded. The man replied, "The past cannot be changed, but the future is still yours to shape. You must make amends and prioritize what truly matters before it's too late." With that, the man waved his hand, and Andrew felt himself being pulled back into his body. Andrew awoke in his stalled car, the rain still pouring. The encounter felt surreal, but its message was clear. As he drove home, he couldn't stop thinking about the memories he had relived. He realized he needed to act immediately. The next morning, Andrew called his mother, apologizing for neglecting her and promising to visit that weekend. She was surprised but thrilled. He then reached out to his employees, organizing a meeting to express his gratitude and pledge to create a healthier work environment. Some were skeptical, but others sensed his sincerity. Andrew didn't stop there. He called his brother, offering to invest in his business idea. and visited his best friend to mend their strained relationship. Over the following months, Andrew transformed his life. He shifted his company's focus from pure profit to ethical practices, emphasizing teamwork and employee well-being. He reconnected with his family, spending weekends with his parents and rebuilding bonds with his brother. Though it wasn't easy, Andrew found purpose in these changes. The elderly man's warning had given him a second chance, and he vowed not to waste it. Years later, Andrew often thought about the mysterious encounter. Who was the elderly man? Was he real, or had Andrew's subconscious created him as a wake-up call? The answer didn't matter. What mattered was that Andrew had heeded the warning and found redemption. This is the story of warnings about life mistakes. It reminds us that life often gives us signs through people, events, or even mysterious encounters. The question is whether we choose to listen and change before it's too late. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to join us in exploring more fascinating tales on the mysterious world.